Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another lesson. And today we're going to be treating a very important lesson actually, but a very simple one as well. We're going to be looking at simple negations in French, and we're going to be delving a little bit into the introduction to sentence formation for the first time in this course. All right, so what is negation? Negation is the capacity to make negative sentences. Negations, using negation markers. All right, so in English we use the word don't most of the time. So we use don't as the primary negation marker. For example, I don't want, I don't eat mangoes, I don't want to see you, I don't go to the beach, I don't. That's our negative marker in English for the most part, except of course for the verb to be, where you can also use not. For example, I am not, and all of that. However, in French, there are also various negative markers, but the primary and most important negative markers in French are these words no and pas. So no, répétez, no, 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 no. It's not no, 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 and then pas, pas. All right. They are used to express the opposite of the absence of an action or state. It is formed by placing no before the conjugated verb and pas after the verb. We're going to look at some examples, but what we are pretty much saying is that the verb that has been conjugated, or the verb in the sentence, the first verb in the sentence, comes in between the no and the pas to form a negative. All right? For example, when I say je suis, that means I am. Je suis, I am. Now, how do I say I am not? Now, je is I, suis is am. That means that suis there is the verb. So suis has to come in between no and pas to form the negative that would mean I am not. So in French, that would be je ne suis pas. Je suis, I am. Je ne suis pas, I am not. In the same light, we have the next sentence, je veux manger. Répétez, je veux manger. In this case, there are two different verbs. There is veux, which comes from the verb vouloir, manger, which is to eat. So veux is want, manger is to eat, and they are both verbs. So in this case, all of the times it is the first verb that will be in the infinitive form, which is the conjugated verb veux. In this case, serving as a modal auxiliary. All right. So when I say je veux manger, to say I don't want to eat, you put the veux in between the no and the pas. Just like in English, by the way, you would say I don't want to eat. The negative will come before the want, not before the eat. You won't say I want don't eat to eat. You won't say I want don't to eat. No, you will say I don't want to eat. So it's the first verb, even in English, that takes the negative marker. So same thing in French. Donc je veux manger, je ne veux pas manger. I don't want to eat. Je veux parler. Repeat after me. Je veux parler. Je veux parler. I want to speak. Je veux parler avec vous. I want to speak with you. So avec is with. Write it down. New vocabulary. Je veux parler avec vous. Now, based on what you've learned so far, how do you say I don't want to speak, or I don't want to speak with you? It will be je ne veux pas parler avec vous. Je ne veux pas parler avec vous. The next one is tu es prêt? Tu es prêt? Tu es means you are, or are you in this case, because it's a question. Prêt means ready. If it's a woman, it will be prête with an it in front of it, but for a man, it's prêt. Alright, donc tu es prêt? Tu es prêt? Répétez. Tu es prêt? Which means are you ready? You guys want to go out and you're asking somebody, tu es prêt? Tu es prêt? Alright, are you ready? And the person says, je suis prêt, which means I am ready. Je suis prêt. Je suis prêt. I am ready. But the negative will be what? Je ne suis pas prêt. Je ne suis pas prêt. No, I am not ready. Non, je ne suis pas prêt. No, I am not ready. Okay? Tu es is you are. Tu es means you are, right? Tu es, répétez, tu es. Just like je suis, I am. Tu es, you are. So, how about this sentence here? Tu n'es pas sérieux. Tu n'es pas sérieux. tu n'es pas. So this is supposed to be, the ne pas there is still there, and the which is the verb, you are, in this case, is in between ne and the pas. But because the no ends with a vowel e and the starts with a vowel e, due to the law of liaison, of link, that e has to be sacrificed, all right, to be replaced apostrophe so that it can aid pronunciation. And that's how you have what? Tu n'es pas. It's supposed to be tu ne es pas, all right? But this time it's not what? Tu n'es pas sérieux. You are not serious. Tu as l'argent means you have money. Tu as l'argent. Répétez, tu as l'argent. Mais tu n'as pas l'argent. Tu n'as pas d'argent, I beg your pardon. Tu n'as pas d'argent. You don't have money. It's the same rule that is expressed there. Je veux manger, mais je ne veux pas cuisiner. Je veux means I want. Now, je veux is one of the easiest ways to form any sentence. So when you say je veux, you're saying I want. Add most verbs and it will go. For instance, je veux manger, I want to eat. Je veux parler, I want to speak. Je veux cuisiner, I want to cook. Je veux nager, I want to swim. Je veux écouter, I want to listen. Je veux attendre, I want to wait. It's a very easy way to form sentences. Je veux. So, je veux manger, person says I want to eat. Mais means but. Mais je ne veux pas cuisiner, but I don't want to cook. Are you learning now? Are you seeing the positive and negative differences? Okay? Now, when someone asks you, comment ça va? Comment ça va? Comment ça va? What the person is saying is, how are you? But what is the verb in this sentence? The verb there is va. So you can say, for example, ça va bien, which means everything is fine. But to say that you are not fine, you put the no and the pas around the va, and it becomes what? Ça ne va pas bien. Ça ne, ça va, don't forget, means ça va bien. Ça va means I'm fine, right? To say I'm not fine, now instead of ça va, it would now be ça ne va pas bien. Ça va bien, I'm fine. Ça ne va pas bien, I'm not fine. Alright, so that's also possible as a response. Now we're going to look at simple sentence constructions. I told you we're going to work on sentence constructions. SVO, SV. SVO is subject, verb, object. SV is just simply subject, verb. Alright, so we're going to use verbs to form these sentences and say. So the verb manger, for example, means to eat. When I say je mange du riz, now pay attention that in French, unlike in English we have something called simple present and present continuous. For me to use simple present in English with the verb manger, I would say I eat. For instance, I eat rice, which means I have the capacity to eat rice. Then for me to express that I'm currently eating rice is a very different tense I'm going to use, and that tense is called present continuous. I am eating rice. Now, the good news I'm going to give you today, and I want you to write this down, is that in English, in French, there's nothing like that. Just one tense, which is simple present, stands for both simple present and present continuous in French. It is the context that will tell you whether the person is saying I eat or they are saying I am eating. Once you see what the person is doing, is the person currently eating? If he's eating and the person says je mange, you know the person is saying I am eating. If the context is that we are talking about what we like to eat, and the person says je mange la pizza, means the person is saying that I eat pizza regularly. I don't know if you have gotten this. So when I say je mange du riz means I eat rice, yes. But je mange du riz also means I am eating rice. So simple present in French represents both simple present and present continuous in English. Are we together? So that whenever you want to say I am eating rice, you should not start thinking je suis, because that has nothing to do with the verb to be. In this case, it is present continuous. You go straight to conjugating the main verb, I am eating rice, which is to eat. Okay? Now, just wanted to explain that there's a lesson in the future, avoiding present continuous and simple present trap. That's where this is explained more extensively. Okay, with the verb regarder we have, which is to watch, we have je regarde la télévision. Je regarde la télévision, which means I watch television. It also means what? I am watching television. And then in negative form, just like negative form for manger is je ne mange pas. Alright, je ne mange pas. I forgot to give you that. But for the sake of regarder, with regarder the sentence is je regarde la télévision. And then the negative is what? Je ne regarde pas la télévision. Je ne regarde pas la télévision, which means I don't watch television. It also means what? I am not watching television. Okay? Now let's look at the verb écouter. Écouter, which means to listen. Okay, j'écoute de la musique. J'écoute de la musique. J'écoute de la musique, which means I listen to music. I am listening to music. All right, and then to say I am not listening to music or I don't listen to music, you say what? Je n'écoute pas. Je n'écoute pas. Je n'écoute pas de la musique. Okay, in this case, it's even a she. It's elle. Elle écoute de la musique. Elle écoute de la musique. She's listening to music. Elle n'écoute pas de musique. She's not listening to music. Elle n'écoute pas de musique. I meant to say earlier. Okay, with the verb aimer, which is to love or to like. J'aime voyager au village. J'aime voyager au village. Okay, I like to travel to the village. Je n'aime pas voyager au village. Are you saying the negative now? Je n'aime pas. Again, because aimer begins with a vowel, that E in the no has to be sacrificed. It becomes what? Je n'aime pas voyager au village. I don't like to travel to the village. Parler says what? Je parle français. Je parle le français. Now, how do I say I don't speak French? You put the no and the pas around the parle, and it becomes what? Je ne parle pas le français. It's so easy, guys. Once you know how the normal conjugation is, making it negative is a walk in the park. Okay? With the verb pouvoir, pouvoir, which is can, all right? Can, pouvoir. So in this case, je peux danser. When you say je peux danser, je peux danser means what? I can sing. Now, what's the negative of je peux? Je ne peux pas. Je ne peux pas. Je peux, I can. Je ne peux pas, I can't. Je ne peux pas danser. Okay? This is supposed to be je peux chanter, because to sing is chanter, not danser. Je peux chanter, which means what? I can sing. Negative would be what? Je ne peux pas chanter. Je ne peux pas chanter. I can't sing. Alright? Number 7, j'écris une lettre. J'écris une lettre. J'écris again, because écrire starts with E. The E in the je is sacrificed for apostrophe, and it becomes what? J'écris une lettre. I write a letter. Don't forget, also means what? I am in the process of writing a letter. That's a very good news for us as English speakers. That one expression can mean these two expressions in French or in English. All right. Comprendre is to understand. Répétez. Comprendre. Comprendre. So you hear someone says je comprends, which means I understand. In this case, je comprends la situation. Je comprends la situation. I understand the situation. Negative was je ne comprends pas. Je ne comprends pas la situation. I don't understand the situation. Now, the next verb is savoir. Savoir means to know. Savoir means to know, especially with regards to something. When it comes to knowing people, the verb is connaître, which means to know someone or maybe a place. But with something, it's savoir. Okay? So, once you say je sais, you can add most verbs to express what you know how to do. So just by saying je sais, S-A-I-S, you're already saying I know how to. Then put whatever it is there. So je sais cuisiner, for example. I know how to cook. How do you say I don't know how to cook? You can now say je ne sais pas cuisiner. I don't know how to cook. Je sais nager, I know how to swim. Je ne sais pas nager, I don't know how to swim. Je sais chanter, I know how to sing. Je sais chanter. Je ne sais pas chanter, I don't know how to sing. You see that now? Faire, which means to do. Je fais mes devoirs. I'm doing my assignment, or I do my assignment. Je ne fais pas mes devoirs. Je ne fais pas mes devoirs means I'm not doing my assignment, or I don't do my assignments. I hope you've enjoyed and you've learned a lot from today's class on simple negations. It's very simple. If I were you, give yourself like 20 or 30 simple sentences and force yourself to give the negations. Okay? She's singing. She's not singing. She's complaining. She's not complaining. She's listening to music. She's not. I think give yourself all those exercises and force yourself to give yourself the negative. So, to prove to us that you understand this, you're going to translate the following sentences on your own without using dictionary into English, that is the negative forms, and then give them in your report. For example, okay, you're going to basically translate. You've been given the sentences, you just translate them and present them. I am a student. How do you say that? How do you say I'm not a student? I want to speak with you. I don't want to speak with you. I want to dance. I don't want to dance. I want to buy rice. I don't want to buy rice. I am sick. I am not sick. Do this assignment and give it as your report as part of your the task 1 report. Thank you all so much. I love you and see you in the next class.